So I fell behind on Doctor Who for a while. Now that I'm finally up to date with Doctor Who, I want to talk about my past with the show, the present with the show, and a bit of the future with the show. So one of the reasons I actually kind of fell off Doctor Who was more so the writing was really bad in season 11. That's one of the complaints everyone says. But also one of the big reasons I fell off was the fan base itself. I found them just to be so toxic and so negative. When Jodie Whittaker was announced, I was a bit taken back by who it was because I really wasn't expecting Jodie Whittaker. I've known Jodie Whittaker before this for Broadchurch, so when I seen she was announced, I'm like, oh okay, it's the mother from Broadchurch. Really wasn't expecting that. And I was like, okay, let's see what she can do. At first, I wasn't really as excited for a woman doctor because the doctor has always been a man. I've always imagined the doctor as a man. I just didn't see how the doctor could be a woman. Now I know it does work, but I wasn't one of those people who was going online screaming about it, shouting about it, and that's one of the reasons I really fell off, because the fan base was, as I said, just so negative and so toxic. But I decided to catch back up again. But for me, Doctor Who, it's been there for the better part of my life. Actually, I was even looking back, the first episode I saw was Angels Take Manhattan, which is kind of a mad episode to be your first episode. But I was over at a friend's house back in, I checked, it was 2012. And we were over in a friend's house. The new episode of Doctor Who came out. Him and his mum were massive fans, so they sat down and watched it. I was watching it with them. I was completely lost. I had no idea what was going on. But that episode always stuck with me. I always remember that episode. I always remember these angels. So when I started to watch Doctor Who, as I was making through, Matt Smith came in. I'm like, I remember that guy. And then when Amy came in, I remember that girl. Then in season 5, you get the episode with the angels, and I thought, oh, okay, so she's gone already. That's pretty quickly. But then I quickly realized, okay, it's not this episode. Again, when she showed up in season 7, I'm like, okay, this is where she goes. I knew straight away this is where she goes because, of course, my introduction was that episode. But I've always just loved Doctor Who. My favorite Doctor is probably Matt Smith, as you can tell. One of the reasons I relate to him, or one of the reasons I like him so much, is because I relate to him. I just kind of, my mannerisms and a lot of the way he acts is just the way I act, and I've always just kind of liked Matt Smith as the Doctor. I've met 3 Doctors. I've met Sylvester McCoy, Colin Baker, and Paul McGann. I've got TARDIS, they signed them. I actually had the opportunity to meet Christopher Eccleston, but he was asking for £90, so I decided not to meet him. But Doctor Who, as I said, always loved it. I loved Peter Capaldi. Peter Capaldi's era kind of suffered in the same way I think Jodie Whittaker's era was, the fact that it wasn't always solid. It wasn't always 100%. The writing wasn't always there. He started off as a grumpy old man, which I loved. Then he kind of changed quickly at the start of season 9, like when he came out on the tank with the guitar. I liked that. But he just quickly changed into more of a fun grandpa rather than a grumpy old man, which I did prefer the grumpy old man. But the way they kind of finished off Peter Capaldi, actually his final speech when he says when I fall to both masters, I loved that speech. But I loved it. And then when he regenerated into Jodie Whittaker, one of my problems actually with the regeneration into Jodie Whittaker is, if you look at, we're just going to take Modern Who, we're just going to talk about Modern Who, but you look at David Tennant, when you regenerate to him, his first thing is says, oh, new teeth, that's weird. You get a little bit of his personality. Matt Smith is, oh my god, I've got legs, thank god. A bit of his personality. Peter Capaldi, oh my god, I've got kidneys, I don't like the colour. You get a bit of his personality. Jodie Whittaker, she just is brilliant. I just kind of found that to be disappointing. I would like her to be like, oh my god, I'm a girl. I would like just something. I think they couldn't say that. I think if they said that, they would have got so much backlash, and they knew that what they were going to say, so they couldn't really comment immediately that she's on a girl, or that she is a girl. But I just think something like that would have worked more for the Doctor rather than just, oh, brilliant. I kind of found that to be a bit disappointing for her regeneration. Season 11 then, as a whole, I kind of found to be a bit of a mess. There was no storyline that was going through. Graham and Ryan had the story of them becoming grandson and grandfather, so that's the kind of problem with them in season 12. Their story was finished in season 11, so it made no sense for them to be there in season 12 because they really didn't have anything to do. The companions as a whole, all 3 of them, I kind of find them to be interchangeable. I really don't know anything about any of them. I know Yaz, she is a police officer. In season 12, they gave her a storyline that she was suicidal at one point, but I didn't think that storyline really paid off. The fact that it was just kind of tacked on the last 5-6 minutes of the episode, and it was never commented on before that. It was never commented on before after that. So I felt like they just kind of shoved that storyline in there to give Yaz a bit of a personality. Graham has cancer every now and again, that shows up. Ryan has, I can't remember exactly what he had. It was dyspraxia that again showed up at the first episode with him, showed up at the last episode with him, and showed up every now and again. But they really don't have any definitive character traits. I feel like you could take whatever Ryan says and give it to Yaz, and you wouldn't really feel much of a difference. That's why one of the reasons I'm glad they're gone. We might get a bit more of a character from Yaz because we really don't know any of them in particular. So I've never really been a big, massive fan of them. And because we've had 3 people in the TARDIS with them, Jodie Whittaker really hasn't really got the chance to shine as a Doctor. I feel like I really don't know her as the Doctor. Like, when you look at Christopher Eccleston, for the most part of that season, it was 3 in the TARDIS. There was him, there was Rose, there was Jack, and there was Mickey. And I knew who that Doctor was, but I really haven't got a good grasp on who Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is. Even if you look at, there was River, there was Amy, there was Rory, and there was Matt Smith's Doctor in the TARDIS, and you knew all them, but just for whatever reason, Chris Chibnall, or whoever is writing at the moment, I know Chris Chibnall is, but whoever's writing these certain stories at the time, haven't really been able to develop the 4 people within the TARDIS, and I just really haven't been able to get a relationship on any of them. But of season 11, the only memorable, actually no, there's 2 episodes in it that I like. I like the introduction. I like The Woman Who Fell to Earth. I thought that was a fun introduction as a Doctor, as a woman. I also like Rosa, I guess the episode was called, Rosa Parks episode. I thought that was really good. The big scene at the end when Graham realizes that he's gonna have to be the man to sit down the front, who's gonna demand the seat off Rosa Parks. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that worked. The emotion in Bradley Walsh's face at that episode, I thought was brilliant. The rest of it, really didn't like. I didn't like the guy coming back from episode 1. I can't remember the guy's name, but all the teeth all over his face, making him the big bad for the whole season was terrible. There was no continuing story. Like, if you look at previous seasons, like a season 6, the Doctor, what is his name, or the death of the Doctor, or who is River Song. If you look at season 8, it's like, who gave you my number to Clara. If you look at season 4, there's missing planets going all over the place. But for season 11, there was no continuing story. It was just a new adventure every episode, which just didn't really make them feel like you had to be there every single week to watch it to find out what's going to happen next. Then you got the New Year special, which I thought was fine. It was okay. It wasn't, I'd say if I was going to put with the specials, it would probably be down the bottom because the story wasn't that interesting and it wasn't really that fun. But season 12 came around, you got Spyfall. I thought Spyfall was fine. I thought part 1 was better than part 2, but the reason I really didn't like Spyfall is you get the Master. Now, I can't remember the guy's name who plays the Master, but I actually liked him as the Master. I thought he was very hyper, very weird, and I liked him as the Master. I just liked him in the show, but I didn't like the Master being back. I thought the fact that it's literally been season 12, Master, Missy, the big storyline of Missy, literally Missy dies becoming a good person again. Season 11, okay, no Master. In season 12, you bring him back and the Master's bad again. No explanation. Is Missy the Master? Is the Master before Missy? We have no idea. Nothing is explained. I imagine it will be explained, hopefully eventually, but I just didn't like that the Master came back so quickly. Even the reveal of the Master I found to be so disappointing. If you look back at earlier seasons, like even when what's the guy's name? Oh, I can't remember his name now, but he played the Master with David Tennant. His reveal, you see him quickly realize who he was because he had the fog watch. Even Missy's, that was a big reveal, but this one, he says he's not a big runner. And then Jodie Whittaker says, "Oh no, you are a champion runner. I read your file." And he goes, "You got me. I'm the Master." I was like, "Oh, okay, that was a bit anticlimactic. That was a bit disappointing the way you just revealed you're the Master like that." So Spyfall as a whole, I found to be okay, a good introduction to the season, I guess. But I felt it kind of went on the spy stuff too much. It wasn't. They were trying to make it more like James Bond rather than Doctor Who. Didn't really like that. Now I got the episodes up here, so I'm gonna go through them one by one. You also got Orphan 55, which was a complete shit. Hey, that episode, you got the woman throughout the whole episode was going, "Benny, Benny," and it was so irritating. You had the guy Jay from In-Betweeners, who was god awful in the episode. The whole story, everything was just, this episode was painful. One of the overarching kind of themes through the season was the environment, and I get why they're doing it. It's important, of course, the environment is important, But the storylines that they told with this kind of storyline was just terrible. It just didn't work. You've also got Nikola Tesla, Night of Terror. I actually can't remember that episode. I'm not going to comment on it. Fugitive of the Judoon was a really fun episode. You do have what was the woman's name? Does it say it here? It does not. But you've got the woman who claims to be the Doctor. I thought that was a bit of a mystery. I had no idea what was going to happen. Apparently, it was kind of saying in the episode that it was letting it to believe that she was a Doctor before William Hartnell. Didn't like that, but it went on anyways. Then you got Protractus, I think it was. That was the episode when there was the plastic inside people that turned them into rock monsters. That was a bad episode again. The villains were bad. You got the guy who says, I'm going to keep an eye on the crows, and then he goes, and then he comes back. It was just, that episode was bad again. You also have Can You Hear Me, which was something the Doctor Friends. Okay, that was when that was with the fingers. That was a weird episode again. That was very forgettable. I can't really remember what their plan. Oh, these were people who they thought they were immortal, so they thought they were gods. That was a pretty bad episode again. Didn't really like that one either. You got The Haunting of Villa Dia. Oh, that episode was good. I like that one. That was more like the haunted house kind of thing. I enjoyed that one. They revealed the lone Cyberman. Actually, before Fugitive of the Judoon had Captain Jack. That was pretty cool to see Captain Jack again. Wasn't really expecting him to show up. In fact, I knew he was showing up, but I was surprised that he came back. I knew he was showing up because, of course, if I haven't seen the season in a year, I cannot be expecting this not to be spoiled for me. But it was quite cool to see Captain Jack show up. You got the assassination of the Cybermen, which I thought was a pretty cool episode. I enjoyed that episode. That was setting up to the finale. We see like the Master actually take the Doctor away. We see the kind of Cybermen drones where it was their heads. We see, I thought that episode was good. As a whole, we kind of get to see Ryan with the Doctor separated. You do see you see Graham and Yaz being stuck on a Cyberman ship. They take out the body parts of people and put themselves in a Cyberman suit. I thought that was quite weird, but that's what they ended up doing. And then episode 10, the final episode of season 12, The Timeless Children. First up, it's only one, so it's Timeless Child, not Timeless Children. But yeah, I really didn't like that episode. And I think that's the kind of the common thing that everyone is saying is like, what the hell is that episode? Not only did they make Time Lords like not special, like Time Lords, I always thought they were like big special things, big special beings out in the universe, but now they are just lab experiments. The Doctor didn't, like when Matt Smith thought he was done, like Matt Smith lived on Trenzalore for thousands of years because he knew he couldn't regenerate because that was his last regeneration. But he could have regenerated because the Doctor already had endless regenerations. Just so much stuff like that. The fact that the Doctor was tested on for years and years to try and see how regeneration worked. Just all of it. The fact that William Hartnell is now like the 20th, maybe even the 30th Doctor, not the first Doctor, makes him even less special. Just so much about the Timeless Child I don't like. The fact that it just takes everything we know about Doctor Who and just fucks it out the window. Really did not like that whatsoever. But it ends that the Master has killed everyone in Gallifrey and has turned them into Cybermen, which I thought the look of them looked decent in the fact that it was just Cybermen that had Gallifreyan robes over them. But I thought in a whole that was kind of wasted because we only got that for half an episode, if not 3/4 of the episode, and then the Doctor was going to have to blow up Gallifrey, but then some random guy we met in the episode before decided to blow up Gallifrey. So the whole of the 50th anniversary was to bring back Gallifrey, and then in season 12 episode 10 they blow up Gallifrey once again. The Master, I don't know how he would have got out of that, but somehow the Master is going to have to get out of that. It's just so much about that. I just don't like the final episode. I do like how it wraps up that the Doctor goes into prison, and that will lead me into talking about the New Year's special, which I actually had a lot of fun with. I liked seeing the Doctor just being caught in that endless cycle. I don't know, she didn't say the exact date, but I think she said she's been there for centuries. Centuries or decades, but I know Captain Jack had to wait 19 years just to get into the one beside her. Seeing Captain Jack and the Doctor being together again, I really enjoyed that. Part of me wished, because it's been 1,500 years since the Doctor would have seen Jack last. I would have loved if she forgot who Jack was. I would have loved if she's like, I have no idea who you are. I thought that would have been cool if the Doctor just didn't remember Jack. But again, how could you forget Captain Jack? But seeing them escape, I love that thing. The one of my problems with the episode though, why would the British government use Dalek bodies as pretty much soldiers when, if you look back, the government obviously knows about Daleks. Everyone knows about Daleks. Why would someone trust a Dalek body? In that sense, it makes no sense. I don't get why they would do that. But the episode as a whole, I did have fun with it. They destroyed a perfectly good TARDIS, which I don't get why, but I had fun with it. I thought Ryan leaving at the end made sense. I kind of thought he should have left in season 11. It made sense that Graham left with him because he said it wouldn't be the same without Ryan. I thought it'd be weird if Graham was there without Ryan, and they thought that obviously as well. I think Yaz should have left. I think they all should have just left, and the Doctor should just travel with Jack. I would love to see a season of Jack and the Doctor, but of course we're not seeing that. I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. I heard a rumor that the episode, this season as a whole, is going to be about the TARDIS dying, which I don't like that idea because they just destroyed a perfectly good TARDIS in the New Year special. So the fact that they just done that, and in the new season's about the TARDIS dying, it makes no sense why the TARDIS be dying. So I don't like that idea. I don't think it's real, but I just heard that. I do want to see Jodie stick around for a little bit longer. Because I do like Jodie. There's actually rumors going around now that she is going to be regenerating. I wasn't really a fan of her at first, and the fact that I don't like her writing, but I think she is so weird and wacky. I think she's so weird and wacky at sometimes where she shouldn't be weird and wacky. Sometimes I can't take her seriously because she's so weird and wacky, but I do want to see her progress more and see her more as a Doctor. And I think the fact that if she leaves at season 13, that means season 14 will be a new Doctor, and then the new Doctor will have the 60th anniversary. And I don't think they should put the 60th anniversary on a new Doctor. I think they should have that as a more established Doctor. Of course, she probably will show up again. If she did regenerate, she will be in the 60th. I said they'll bring her back. I imagine David Tennant, I imagine Peter Capaldi, I imagine Matt Smith. I imagine there's going to be a big Doctor anniversary for the 60th, but I just don't think she should leave anytime soon. I think she's got so much more. As I said, I really don't have a kind of an idea of who she is. I would love to see more of her as a Doctor, so I hope she sticks around for a little bit more. I hope Yaz leaves soon. That's nothing on like the actress or anything. I just kind of want to leave that whole group. I don't want to hang out with that group anymore. I'm kind of sick of that group. As I said, we don't really know them, and I don't really want to get to know them at this stage. The fact that we've been with them for 22 episodes now, and we really don't know them. I don't want to know them. The fact that we don't know them now, they've missed their mark. They've missed their chance. I don't want to know them anymore. I want them all gone. I want to bring a new companion in. I don't know who. As in, I don't know if it should be an older man, an older woman, a younger man, a younger woman. I kind of want to see someone not from our era. Maybe get someone from the past, like the 1700s, or maybe someone from the really distant future, or an alien, as in an alien that looks like an alien, that doesn't look human. Something different. Give us something different. I want something different moving forward with Doctor Who, and just the companion end of things. It's always just been someone from whatever year the show is being based in, so I want to see something different taking place with the companion end of things. Who knows what they're going to do? Again, Yaz is sticking around, so we probably will see her for a full season. I hope if Jodie Whittaker does regenerate, I hope it's a mid-season one. Like, I hope it's not at the end of the season like it is every single time the Doctor regenerates at the end of the season and we get the new Doctor for next season. And I hope if it actually does happen, I hope it doesn't get announced who it is, which I'd be hard to do, I know that. But I hope we don't know who it is, because I'd love to see regeneration and we'd see who it is after that. And I hope it's not announced. I'd love to see a surprise regeneration. I don't know if that's what they did originally in like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I don't know if it was surprise regenerations and everyone just went, oh my god, it's a new Doctor, or oh my god, this is who the Doctor is. But I'd love to see that happen now. It's going to be really hard, but I'm sure they could do it, because as far as I know, Captain Jack was a surprise, so I'm sure they could do a Doctor regeneration with no one knowing who it is, or the fact that it's going to be a regeneration. But as a whole, Doctor Who moving forward, I am excited to see what happens next. I'm back on board with Doctor Who. I'm going to try stay up to date with Doctor Who. It was kind of hard to stay up to date. It's just with the fans, and I think Doctor Who works better when you binge it. I think when you binge the whole season, it works better than week to week, especially with Jodie Whittaker's era. I just find it's easier to watch them all at once rather than week to week because I find it very slow and boring. That's what I did for the first couple of episodes of season 11, and I just found it really, really dull and boring. So I think I will probably wait until the whole season's done, then I might catch up maybe, but who knows what's moving forward. I'm excited to see what happens in season 13. I hope Jodie doesn't leave, but who knows what's going to happen there. But let me know what you think of Doctor Who as a whole in the comment section down below. Do you love Jodie or do you want to see her leave? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. Click that subscribe button so you can see more future content from me in the future. If you want to see an unboxing of season 8 whenever that does drop, click that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.